Hi, my name is Nathan Bissonette and I'm pleased to tell you about Impulse Control. Impulse Control is a 2D projectile launching game. It might remind you of Angry Birds. I'm a structural engineer. I've incorporated realistic structures into the game. Realistic structures include beams, braces, columns, and frames. These are types of elements you'd see in the structural design of a real building, but you don't often see them inside of video games. You usually just see a pile of blocks that can topple over or a static structure that can't be destroyed. So my affiliation with USC comes from pursuing a master's degree in structural engineering, and while I was there from 2015 to 2019, I got to take a class with the USC Games department called Interactive Media Startup, and I just took it for fun. It was 1 credit, and it was very informative because it taught me about business, which as an engineer is not something I've been all that interested in the past, but I could understand how games can be used to carry a message, and in order to make a game and try to be profitable, at least not lose a lot of money, you have to be smart financially. So this project is to show what's possible as far as realistic building destruction goes, and in order to make it more interesting for mainstream audiences, I included a personality quiz, and as you go through the game it asks you a series of questions, and so depending on how you answer the questions it'll assign you one of 12 personality types, and I think this will help young people especially to become more familiar with what a personality type is and what are their strengths and weaknesses, so maybe they can become more introspective and better relate to the world around them. So my goal with this game is to be fun, a little challenging, and try to tell people that having a good attitude is the right way to be. Especially with everything going on in the world right now, we have to try our best to practice impulse control. So anyway, the game is totally free and it's available online. If you go to the website, it's www.impulsectrl.com/play. And yeah, I hope you can check it out and have fun. What I'd like to tell you about here is the VR conversion process that I use to take a Revit file into Unity and create an interactive virtual reality experience for building walkthroughs. So step 1 introduce you here to Revit, and Revit is used by the AEC, which stands for Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Industry, to develop models for buildings, and those models are used for drafting, design, construction, all the way through the process. So in that process you end up developing a pretty advanced model with a lot of building information. And what I'm going to be showing you here is how we use that advanced model data to create an immersive walkthrough inside of Unity, which is a video game development platform. And so what the Unity will allow you to have is presence, and as gamers we all know what presence is. It's feeling that you are somewhere that you aren't, and being able to explore and be involved in that location. Now we have Unity, and the plugin I'm using is called Pixies. Pixies is very easy to use. It does have some costs associated with it. So this is the prototype model workflow. We have bimobject.com where you can source different furniture, bring that into the Revit model, and then once you have your satisfied with your Revit model, you do what's called an export to IFC. And IFC stands for International Foundation Classes. It's an open, standardized way of storing digital building descriptions. So it's a fancy word for lots of data. And so then Pixies you can use to bring that data right into Unity, proceeding to build to Unity to the platform of your choice, and you can deploy this over the web, or you could have a whole setup with virtual reality gear for people to experience the building walkthrough. The last concept that I'd like to share with you is to bring a realistic building destruction from the 2D mobile game into a 3D environment. And the way that I'm investigating this is by creating a finite element model inside of Unity, and that allows the beams and the columns to flex realistically and then break at extreme deflections or loads. This is not currently being done in any games that I'm aware of, although a developer named Dennis Gustafsson is using voxels to develop a new game called Teardown that has very realistic behavior like this. So I hope to use Unity's dots and Havok physics integration to extend this prototype to a larger scale model like the ones that I showed in the virtual walkthrough, and then bring this to other Unity games, partnering with any developers who may be interested. It's been my pleasure to share everything here with you, and thank you again for your time and attention.